Hello, Sock117 here, and today I'll be going through the building tutorial and the design philosophy of how I constructed my General Grievous Wheelbike Lego mock. This Wheelbike was first seen in Revenge of the Sith, and it is a personal transport of General Grievous. So at first glance you can see that the design inspiration for this model kind of used the Lego 2014 model as a starting point, mainly in the design of and construction of the wheel. But the issue with that model is that it's comically oversized compared to your General Grievous minifigure, as you can see here. So that's something I really wanted to correct in my iteration. So then I go and look at the source material here, and as you can see, it's a lot smaller. Again, really emphasizing the fact that the Lego model is way too big. But this source material model, you know, it looks kind of tough too. Like, it's got design elements that look complicated, like these little mandibles here, and you know, building in that scale too is going to be something that is going to be really challenging, especially if you want to keep some of the functionality. So I figured, you know, don't go that small, but you know, try to do a lot better than Lego did and see where you can kind of end up. So let's get started with the builds. Kind of with what Lego had here in constructing this little wheel section. And then you're going to want to repeat that quite a few times. So it helps if you have Lego's model to start, because then at least you know you're going to have all these pieces. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, that's 9. Lay them flat like this. Now this is probably the most important part right here. This Technic piece in the center. This one I got from, I want to say, Geonosis Troopers, and it was that octopus droid. Because I don't know how rare this part is, but it's kind of probably the most important part in this build. Now this is kind of difficult, and it's a little finicky as you're doing it. But once it's constructed, you'll find this design is very stable because it makes use of this triangle piece. And if you guys know anything about architecture, you know triangles are one of the strongest shapes. So look at that. It's a much more respectable wheel size, and it actually rolls quite nicely too. And this hole is going to give us the connection point that we need to have the builds on the side. A 6-length axle. That's going to be the connection point through here, and we're just going to use some gears as bearings. These kind of have a nice look to them that kind of goes with the style of the wheel bike. You know, lots of spikes kind of coming out all over the place. And now we got to have the two sections that go side by side. So we'll start with the left side here. So this is the first kind of connection point. And see, we're going to be using these ball joints for the legs. So 1x2 brick here with an axle point in it, and then some details here to just give it a little more style. Now, this isn't like source material or anything, so you can really do whatever you want with this connection point. But just making sure that you have those ball joints there, those are going to be really important to attach your legs. And that's what side are we working on here? The right side. So now we'll move to the gun. So again, 1x2 with the axle joint. So snot brick here. And then I'm using silver ingot pieces just to add an extra little bit of detail. 2 headlight bricks. Well, I guess these aren't headlight bricks. These are just 1x1s with studs on side. These 2. Oops. Uh-oh. And then the gun. Now you'll notice in the source material model, the gun, it kind of had this angle off to the side. So I tried to replicate that with the binocular pieces, which I think actually works quite well. And just stick that in like that. So now we can attach that. And you'll see these two are separate, but when you connect them here, it leaves this opening. So we'll just put one of these floater pieces on there. Forget what they call those. Okay, that's side one. Now we need the cockpit. So again, we're going to just start with one of these connections with the 1x2 with the axle, but notice how we have the opening here. Just take a 1x3 brick, we'll stick that there. And you're going to want to line this up, don't want it like that. Okay, good. Now the seat. This is again two snot plates kind of put together. Constructed. Okay, and now the console. Now the console in the movie, if you remember, he's got that like pink kind of dial piece, but I don't know, it was kind of tough to get that to like line up with his hand to make it look like he was actually driving, so I came up with this solution. And this kind of reminds me of that like a little droid, but it's constructed like this. So it's got these holes in the stud pieces, and then it's connecting with these Exoforce arms, or hands I should say. And that just connects nicely like this. So now you can take your Grievous fig and just stick them on that, and then he folds back. And the reason I like this using the levers is because you can actually put these in his hands, so it actually looks like he's driving it. Okay, and then last, we just need to make these legs here. So these are the pieces you're gonna need. And we're taking advantage of the fact that this is an open stud, and this is a hollow stud point in the middle of these pieces. Oh, it comes later. And then this is probably a really nice piece to kind of sell the design if you saw it on the image of it in walking mode. It's kind of got this shape, and it's just got a nice little bit of texture to it. And before I get, yeah, this again kind of working like that, just to keep these guys connected. Just slot that in right there. But again, stuff like that, you know, it's not really important to the overall design, so don't feel you have to use a piece like that or like that. Like, again, it's your creation, kind of have fun with it. Now we got 4 of these legs, and then you can just attach them like so, hopefully. Oops. Yeah, these don't have like a back connection like that, so they're a little more fragile, but nothing too bad. And there you have it. This is the Wheelbike in walking mode, and it can kind of scuttle around, and you can kind of transform it into a driving mode. And the way you're going to do that is just push these as far back as you can. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a good day.